My name is Spencer Matthew, businessman and former owner of Reach for the Stars College Admissions Advising. I opened my business in 2006 after I had helped a few local kids with their college applications and discovered I had a real knack for working around the system. It was fairly profitable, too. As my reputation grew, however, I started to get some high profile clients who wanted their kids in their dream school at any cost. Most of my revenue was from these celebrities who paid exorbitant sums for me to fake a profile to get their kids into school. I had approximately 150 of these clients from when I started my business until the FBI raided my offices, shut down my business, and arrested me. As a part of my plea deal with the U.S. Attorney's Office, I will be testifying against all of the parents who engaged in my premier services, including my most famous client, Mel Tam. She first contacted me via email in December of 2015, requesting my services to get her younger daughter, Jewel Tam, into college. My first in-person meeting with Mel was on January 2nd, 2016. Mel's spouse, Andy, was there for a few minutes, but I primarily spoke with Mel, and she straight up told me, I am not concerned with morality. Jewel wanted to get into either Berkeley or Stanford with USC as a backup, but she had a 1080 PSAT score, 3.6 GPA, and no athletic career whatsoever. So her chances of legitimately getting into any of those schools were slim to none. I offered Mel a $150,000 package deal to fabricate both enhanced test scores and a false athletic profile. Slightly higher than my normal rates, but I assumed from Mel's beachfront home that the cost wouldn't offend her. I was correct in that assumption when Mel wrote me two checks, one right after the other. A $10,000 check to Reach for the Stars, and a $140,000 charitable donation to my nonprofit, Front of the Classroom. It's a bit too suspicious to report six figures for admissions counseling, so I have my clients funnel the payments through this nonprofit, which in reality is a shell company. Upon receiving my payment, I went to work on getting Jewel Tam into UC Berkeley. In order to improve Jewel's standardized testing scores, I first instructed Mel to take their daughter to one of my friends in the psychiatric industry, Dr. Carla Gibo. Like all the other students I sent her way, she found that Jewel suffered from ADHD and would need extended time on any assessments. Accordingly, she would need to take her test at an alternative testing facility, and it just so happens that the closest testing facility to her home was one that I own. Her proctor, Garrett McDonald, was one of my business associates, and I had him change the scores before submitting Jewel's test to College Bound. She would have made a 1090, but we bumped her score all the way up to a 1480. Mel had told me that they wanted to make Jewel's score a 1500 or higher, but I told her it would be too suspicious to have that large of a jump. Then I did the work to transform Jewel into a student athlete. In this day and age, most traditional methods of faking an athletic career have too many holes. Everything has records in multiple places. So what I usually wind up doing is bribing the coach of the school that the student is applying to and having them endorse the student. In this case, I had the head golf coach at USC recommend Jewel to the admissions office. With that, my work was done, and in March of 2017, I received a $5,000 cash tip along with a UC Berkeley hoodie from Mel Tam, which I took to assume that I succeeded in getting Jewel in. Like most of my other clients, this was solely between myself and Mel, with Jewel fairly oblivious. Even Mel's spouse was pretty out of it. He knew what was going on, but he was not a part of the coordination. I worked all of my plans with Mel, and she had to have known that what we were doing was illegal. She was, just like all my other clients, a rich person taking advantage of their wealth.